One person died in a two-car crash that happened near the Smith-Rusk County line this afternoon during a tornado warning. DPS troopers tell us the driver of an eastbound car crossed lanes and hit another car. The driver of that vehicle was pronounced dead. The two people inside the other car were taken to UT Health East Texas Hospital in Tyler with what we are told were minor injuries. The reason that vehicle crossed lanes is not known. That section of Highway 64 was closed until about 4:45 this afternoon. In DPC